entire monolith stack. If you've got one slow part of your application and you don't have a way to constrain the traffic that's actually trying to get to that particular piece of the application, it's going to slow down your entire server. And if that means that you have to scale out on your entire application moving forward, that means that your huge monolith that's on these giant servers that can't run on smaller horizontal servers has to scale up these huge servers over time. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. If you wanted to isolate your API traffic from your web traffic to kind of provide better user experience, you can set up an API load balancer and direct your API traffic in there. But now you're still having to stand up all those servers and paying for all these servers that aren't being able to use for web traffic at all. Same thing with background workers. You've got to boot up that entire huge application for every single background worker that you might have going, potentially if it's not threaded outside of others. But the dependency isolation is big. There are there's plenty of languages out there that have very specialized purposes and very common use cases where there are much better solutions to a problem than others. There are certain things where Java is the best solution to the problem. There's other areas where you need really high concurrency. You might need Go or Erlang. If you're doing data analytics, you might need R. Being able to say, okay, this part of the application, we need to do some more intensive stuff with this data right now. So we're going to rebuild this analysis microservice and convert Ruby to R. You can do that in microservices. If it's already a microservice, this is easier to separate out. And the general argument goes, well, you can just do that with Mono. You can just replace that analytic piece with R and then just point the Mono to it then. The problem is that you have to have some way of being able to verify that none of the other parts that are being referenced or cross-referenced or were dependent for that initial piece of the application are being used anywhere else in the application. And if any of y'all are familiar with Go, this is actually one of the strongest points of Go as a programming language, and it's one of the most overlooked things. In Go, you cannot compile an application if there is a library included that is not being used. Over the long term, that is huge. And that helps keep things down. Because if you take a part out, you immediately can't compile it, it prevents it from. Could you repeat that? Go. The Go compiler? The Go compiler, it will not let you allocate a variable, it will not let you include a library if that library or that variable is not being used. So for variable, so if you've got a function that returns something, you actually have to, if you're not going to use what it returns, you actually have to provide an underscore to handle the return value, and that just tells it a simple null list. So it doesn't allocate memory for it. But there's a lot of, I can give an entire talk to Go in my hand. I've done that before, it's already up on slides if you want to see it. But,
so there's one that's Go,
right? Long term, that's one of the things that Go was trying to do, was trying to help combat a lot of the problems that you see in these huge development projects, where you don't have a way to account for things that are no longer and also whenever you start as a monolith, you've got some point failure as well. And so if there's a part of your system that's breaking, it's going to be breaking everything, or potentially breaking everything, depending on the configuration. But with microservices, you've got independent pieces. You can have, just like your messaging system going on now, or just your email system going on now. You can buffer between them and let the rest of the application run while you're taking care of parts. It's also convenient for deployment because it makes it human deploying things while having to do the middle of the night, multi-hour deployment process of verification, while I'm just making sure all your customers are online just as good as you. So, hosting challenges. Jonathan knows me. He knows how much I hate Java. But I will credit Java with wonderful infrastructure in a heartbeat. And a Java Enterprise Application Server is really a pretty amazing thing. But in an Enterprise Application Server, when I was at we had 2 production servers. There were 2+ production servers that handle just about all of our applications. You would deploy them in a containerized format, and you say, well, workflow, you drop it on, and you have multiple applications. It gives you a standard way of handling logs, it gives you a standard way of handling configuration rules. You have a common way of doing deployments. You just take that warrior file, drop it on, and unpacks it, handles a zero-down deployment for you, transparently, automatically clusters, automatically load balances, You've got SSL management built inside of it, as well as root certificate management on the traffic of the server. Automatic zero-downtime deployment. It builds in deployment versioning and rollbacks for you, and the Java virtual machine is pretty much awesome. And up until, I think it was 2006, when other languages started being able to run on the Java virtual machine without having to compile all the bytecode, the only way you could leverage all of that was with Java. Now there's tons of languages running JVM. And that right there is the biggest reason why. The JVM and the Java infrastructure are really amazing things if you deploy them. And what that leads to is technology investment. You ever go to somebody in the security department and you say, hey, I really want to use Go for this, and they go, we're a Java shop. And the reason for that, even if he's not doing any development at all, is he knows every ounce of investment we all have, that the company has in Java as technology. And this could apply to anyone who comes using Java as an example. Usually go with .NET or even Ruby or anything else. But you've got the application server set up. You've got a process around deployment set up. You've got a process around monitoring. You've got a process around examining logs. You've got a process around handling configuration variables and managing all that. And so there's a lot of tools that have been invested in around that technology stack, not the least of which is people learning the language in the first place and getting good at it. And, you know, when you start talking about Java, one of the things that really comes up is that there's a huge expertise curve that comes along with Java. It's such a huge ecosystem in general. That ecosystem and learning curve does not exist in many other languages. And so that's another reason you're going to get biased. If somebody says, hey, I want to learn this and use it, and they're thinking, oh, geez, we've already put all this time into learning Java. But that's more of a learning investment. I'm talking specifically around the technology investment from infrastructure, tools around managing whatever processes your company is using. Now, when it comes to, I'm getting to it really quick. Now, when it comes to actually saying, hey, I want to build a microservice, I want to use a microservice-based architecture, you're going to be thinking in your head something like this. I need a main web app for all my HTML and JavaScript and CSS and all that stuff, and then maybe I'll find an app separately. Need an API service probably. And we want to separate out the user authentication between all the services and all that. We might have a data analyzer service, something like webhooks, and you probably just check them all the same database, like sheet flow after everything, really lucky. And the problem is, whenever you're thinking that, it's actually significantly more complicated than that. And this is the problem, because you've got to use these microservices. So when you're configuring your DNS, are each of the microservices just on one VM? Are they on two VMs? Are they behind a single load balancer? Are they behind multiple load balancers? You have secure certificates to deal with for every single one, and expiration and replacement of said certificates. And then updating whatever security protocols you're using whenever the next big hack comes out, and 2048 encryption's not good enough anymore, and there's another SSL v3 vulnerability, and you change your TLS, whatever else. There's all sorts of things that are going to come up along with it, and you've got to manage them on every single one of these independent services. You've got load balancers potentially in front of all of them. You've got to figure out, exactly what else am I doing with the database? Am I handling backups, failover? How am I going to scale the database? Depending on other different services you might be using, how are they going to be connected? Is all this going to be inside like a VPC or on a firewall? What do we have to do to let these things talk to each other? And then on top of all that, you've also got for all these different things, how do we handle logs for each one? How do we handle the deployer for Go, the deployer for Ruby, the deployer for R? How do we handle developer access to every one of those environments when a developer says, hey, I need to work on such and such, I'm trying to debug this problem in production. How do we give them access to it? Do we just give them a page to the whole server that has everything that they don't work on also to it? Or do we give them SSH access to the entire server where they can run configuration? And have we taken care of lockdown every single aspect of it? How do we handle around dealing with it? Then you've got the actual server monitoring, application monitoring, database monitoring, making sure those certificates don't expire. And on top of all that, for your different environments, you've also got your staging and development environments, and you've got to replicate all that crap for your environments along the way. And you never kind of replicate all the work that you just did there. And on top of all that, you've got configuration variables. Are each one of these things going to be configured in a language specific way, or are you going to put a whole bunch of if development, if production, if staging calls inside of your application? Are they going to be pulling the configurations from a database or from Redis or something like that? And where is all this stuff going to live? So, this is where Heroku comes in. It takes all of the common theory, hey, I need to track my logs, and hey, we need to deploy our application, and all of these other things that are, you need to do them. They're going to vary by language and by the way you're actually doing them. Heroku takes almost everything that I just listed around that and makes it a single process, regardless of what language you use. And this is big for talking about microservices. So, here is Heroku. Okay. I like managing servers. The first time that I had to deal with Heroku, I was dead. Mainly because the job that I took was a company that had just been rebuilt by a bunch of very fancy Rails developers who didn't know the first thing about security. And there was a security nightmare going on for about 6, 7, 9 months. It was awful. And there were things like I wanted to do that I knew how to do at server level. I didn't have access to do at a Heroku level at that time. That's improving. And we'll get to that later. But when it comes to Heroku, you have to use Git for Heroku. You can use your other versioning system if you want. You need to go and use Git for this deployment. All you need to deploy is you just take your code, say Git push your remote endpoint Heroku, whether it's production, staging, whatever, you can call Heroku master. You push your repository up, it slurps it up, it sees everything about your application, it sees what version of the language now you're using, it sees all your dependencies, it pulls them down, it loads everything up, and then it boots up, adds it to a load balancer, waits until it's finished, points traffic at it, and when you need to redeploy, push it up, it pushes up the changes, make sure everything moves, and it does so. And whether you're using Ruby or Go or Java or anything else, that is your deployment process. Pretty slow.
When you push up changes, does it start the server go over, or does it usually just start
But yeah, it pretty much does that. We recognize that. I'm going full on 80s here. So. Anybody? Come on. Somebody else.
Rinsing?
Yes. Alright. It's log. Okay, so if you're dealing with logs, regardless of how your individual application parts are using logs, Heroku consolidates it into a simplified interface. And to make this more readable, I remove the timestamps from the silos, but there should be timestamps prefixing every single one of these lines. As you can see here on an application where I might have one web process, we've got web 1 and the lines that are coming out from that. We've got some actual Heroku router stuff. We've also got background worker. All this stuff is getting typed in one set of logs. So I've got 50 different web dynos here, and I'll explain the dynos in that. It would all take to show that you can trace it, or you can filter, you can collide, these logs if you want to. But in addition to that, you can also use any number of third-party plugins like Logly or something like that to send your logs to. And you can set up log drains, which are syslog-nation VS drains, to actually use your standard syslog consolidation interface to pipe your logs out to your other central locations if you want to. The HTTPS or if you want to build some kind of web application, and what that was it'll take a buffer, a bunch of lines, and we'll send them all, and send you another, which can get kind of crazy, but if you want to do that, you're welcome. Load balancer. Every time you deploy something, you are put behind a load balancer. So if you do that, you get push or load balancer, and say you've got, I'll go ahead and explain the dyno real quick. The dyno is basically like a little 512 RAM VM with a gig swap. That's basically what it boils down to. And there's different sizes of them, and they can get bigger than that. You can pay them more. But that's basically what a dyno is. It's like it is basically an isolated container. Heroku has their own containerization stuff. They're using before Docker, which one can all the time. But every one of these things is behind a load balancer. And so by default, you get one free dyno. And if you want to scale that dyno up, you can go into the web interface or you can use that API and just put plus, bump it from 1 to 5, and you get to do 5 more. They're all behind the load balancer. You get billed for it now with a set. So if you're getting a traffic surge, you can just go, I need 50. And then as soon as it's secure, you can go back on. And you get that flexibility there. There's all sorts of auto-scaling services that will tie in and monitor your account, will tie into your new relic monitor stuff. So that you can set your own threshold based on listening for a new relic so more activity. Load balancers are round robin, you can say that configuration, that's just how they do. Whenever you start the dyno, it automatically registers, whenever it notice how to unregister itself. In terms of zero downtime deployment, what you're saying, there's a feature that you can turn on. It's not turned on by default because there are certain circumstances where you wouldn't want it. But there's a service called Preboot that you can turn on. It's a Heroku thing. What it does is if you've got 20 dynos running on the load balancer and you push it up, it'll take your new code, load it up on 20 new ones, wait and verify that they're all loaded up, and then it'll swap them out on the load balancer. Just like that. And all you have to do is turn on Preboot and we'll handle all that for you.
So, Heroku, and what you're doing there with the you are pushing the code, okay? That's part of it. And the configuration of your servers, is that?
That actually would be that. I've got a couple more slides before you, but basically the configuration is all in the front variables. Okay. And I'm going to cover that in depth. I'll get a whole slide and then see if you can. Every single application, you can use your own domain for every single application you set up. By default, you get a something.heroku.com address that gets Heroku's SSL. If the part of the application that is being accessed in terms of microservice pieces or whatever else, if you've got 30 different microservices and you've got one main front end that's using your domain, all the other stuff is communicating behind the scenes. You don't really have to use your domain name for behind the scenes communication. So you can use the IP address directly if you really want to. If you want to, and I recommend it, use whatever Heroku gives you, or whatever you name. You can also pick your names too. Because they got their own secure certificate on it. You can just take it back on there. It's one less thing you have to manage. It's one less thing you have to upkeep. They'll deal with revolving updating for you. And it saves you a lot of trouble. It's just one less thing to deal with. And I find that to be happy. Heroku itself lives in the AWS East region. So if you're deploying on AWS, your stuff is in the East region. It's distributed across availability zones to help the default tolerance in terms of different availability averages. And they try to set it down so that they're automatically distributed across availability zones. You don't really get any say in which zones it's deployed in. But because of that, if you're using any AWS-based tool, like Amazon RDS or any of the other various services that are out there, you can very easily take that on because they're also in the same data center. The downside of that is that if you need more than just availability zone out of protection, if you want to go to entirely different regions, there are different regions available within Heroku where you can actually tell it to go into Europe, or you can tell it to go into East region. But if you want to go west or any of the other 15 or so AWS regions that are out there, it's actually 15, might be 15. But if you want to go to any of those other regions, you're kind of stuck because your application is going to be, your Heroku stuff is going to be stuck in the AWS East region, which is huge. I mean, it's like the entire Eastern Seaboard worth of region. But if you want to move over, you can move a database over to the West region or something like that. But it's going to be going across the internet to get to something to keep in mind. Monitoring. There are things you need to do for monitoring, but it's not quite the same as if you were managing the service yourself. If your application dies, Heroku will restart it. if the entire dyno dies or crashes for some reason, we'll fire the new dyno in its place automatically. If you're trying to kill a service and it won't die, Heroku will kill it for you after a certain amount of time. Those kind of things are sort of taken off your hands. So, configuration. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's kind of later on. This is a very light set of configuration, but basically Heroku config is main value pair environment variables. Database URL, language, these are some various Rails things. But in terms of configuration, Heroku manages configuration with environment variables. You just say Heroku config add, give a key, equals, whatever, and these will be loaded in red, just like any other language can read environment variables. If you update these, the changes are immediately pushed to the rest of your dynos. And it will actually restart the dynos sequentially. Because there are environment variables and it might affect how the application booted up. But all the configuration is handled with environment variables. You can export those to local environment files if you want to put them in your own local export. There's a really, has anybody here used the tool called Foreman? Foreman, and I don't have a slide on it, but I'm going to just talk about it. Foreman is one of my favorite local development tools. And I like it enough that it is the thing that really prevents me from fully committing to using Docker locally. Foreman is so good. What Foreman does is it takes a .env file full of configuration like that, and I can set it up for my local development configuration. Heroku doesn't care about it, but Foreman does. And I can set up line by line everything that needs to start when my application needs up. So if I want to start a database, if I want to start a memcache server, if I want to start a background worker, or a job manager, or in the actual web server, it can do that. It can read from the environment variables. All I have to do is just have Foreman start, and it moves it all in one console. And it color codes each thing booted up in the log. It'll actually look a lot like, it'll look exactly like those Heroku logs that came out, except it'll have a color for every single thing in your ANSI console. And so you can just sit there and watch the entire application run. So to start, and however many pieces that need to run, you set Foreman start, whole thing boots up, you hit Control-C, whole thing shuts down. And it's a really smooth process. And so you can easily export these to your .env file. The only real configuration that you might want to keep bundled with your application is your test configuration, because that's going to kind of travel with the application wherever it goes. If you're running tests locally, you've got a test environment set up where you're dropping off on a CI server or something like that. Those are the only ones. Outside of that, you've got staging, production, UAT, however many environments you want. You can effectively just create all these you want, just adjust those configuration files, deploy the same code base, and those configurations don't need to live in your actual source control, which is probably better, especially if you get secret keys and passwords. Developer access. Okay, so how many people, whenever they are developing an application, are thinking, hey, whenever I need somebody to help me with this, I need to make sure that their access to my servers is secure. You like the front of your mind when you're saying, hey, I need to build this thing? Yeah, of course. If you're building a server, of course, you're primary. That example. For developer access, all they have to do is have a Heroku account. If they don't, all you're doing is adding your email address. So if you've got staging, production, whatever else, and all these various different applications and services, you just add them as needed to each one. They get their own interface, just like on GitHub or anything else. They get their own interface to manage their SSH keys that they need to be able to push it on the interface and things and authenticate. You don't have to deal with any of that. You just say a developer needs access to dev development staging environments to run wild here. And you're done. And whenever you add someone to the library, they don't get access to new invoices. They can't add or revoke pay add-ons. They cannot delete, transfer, or rename the access to whatever else they need. And so you don't have to give most developers access to production or something like that. You can restrict that easily enough. But you effectively get a reasonably granular level of access control to all these various management without having to deal with it on a server-by-server basis and worrying about invalidating keys for your That is staging environments. This is actually really, really big. Heroku just changed their pricing structure. Now they have a totally free tier. The totally free tier says your stuff can run for up to 18 hours in 24-hour period, which is great for anything that's not production. So when you have a production application that has 40 different services, your dev, staging, however many other environments you need for those, can all be run on Heroku for free in perpetuity, or equivalent of, of a good bit more than work day. And that includes, web dynamos and background processes and other things that actually need to have running. And so it makes it really, really easy for experimentation. The policy before was you would get one free dyno, one free web dyno, and if you had a worker, then you could pay full price for that kind of work. And so this makes it tremendously easier to assimilate your entire application. Okay. So all that stuff in red is what Heroku is pretty much taking off of your microservice concerns. All various infrastructure concerns, and then dealing with load balancers, SSL, routing, handling logs, monitoring, various deployment. It takes all of those things around the language, all those things around, I want to use something other than what our company language is, and it removes those roadblocks. And it says, all I need to know is the language, and the company is willing to say, okay, somebody else can run this if we fire you. I mean, if you do. And then you can deploy it. And there's I think 12 languages that are top level supported by Heroku. But they also have individual third-party build packs that are open source and available on GitHub that are also kind of listed on there for just about any language that you can find. There's virtually nothing that you cannot run Heroku. And I don't use it for everything because a very long time ago, about a year ago, it's really interesting for me to give a presentation like this in Heroku's Bridges, because a year ago I wrote an article called "The Docker is the Heroku Killer" that managed to get up on Hacker News. I don't use Heroku for any of my personal stuff because I had a referral in DigitalOcean in there, and now I have like 2,000 worth of referral credits on DigitalOcean. So those pay off, by the way. But now I think that's ways in individual. But yeah, so your entire ability to separate out pieces of microservices, use different languages, basically learn the language and deploy it. That's it. Questions?
I'm just wondering how difficult it might be to walk through the security department. It looks like the data is going to be on the Heroku server, but
Actually, there's some things that you also have to get used to when you're working with Heroku. It's not quite like working with a normal server setup. So whenever you deploy, the area where it lives is a read-only process, except for a temporary directory that they give you to handle uploads. And they tell you that directory, stuff will be cleaned out, periodically, not long-term home free. The idea with Heroku, in terms of actual file storage or data storage, if you're going to offload it somewhere else, to a database or to S3 or something like that. Heroku has their own Postgres service, which is great. It's light, and it makes it really easy to use Postgres with minimum knowledge of how to actually do it. I've seen applications that prove you have minimum knowledge of how to actually do it. But, sorry, I can't resist it. But whether you're using Mongo or anything else, you can hook up to any database you want, and it's going to live whether you're using RDS or Amazon RDS. It's going to live whatever you want to do. You can put it anywhere, any AWS, there's nothing that actually constrains you from. If you want to, you are more than welcome to fire something up on Heroku and open a path to let it hook up to your green box servers. I've actually done that.
Right.
And it really was shocking and fast.
So Heroku, it basically you're just saving things that your different microservices would need to have common with those variables and environment variables.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it also manages like your code, pushes the code out to like you using Git to do that. Is that part of
I mean, it's Heroku uses it. You actually get a Git URL that you have as a Git remote, so it get pushed to whatever you can do. So you can have multiple remotes on your production signature code. You just say Git push development. It has to be on master branch. You can take that URL and you can clone it back out as well if you need to.
So does it take, does it have like a VM or something, or a small VM that then pushes the environment variables out to other servers, or where are they stored? I mean, is it a configuration file?
It's all kind of hidden behind that Heroku config system, and so whenever you register the application, there comes some default configuration variables, but then the admin, you say Heroku config on add new value. I'm not actually sure where they're stored.
I mean, that just be a shell script, isn't it? I mean, I don't know.
Again, now they've got to store it somewhere, and it gets out where they need to go really quickly. But honestly, I could not tell you exactly what it is in store.
Do you have to push your libraries up with your code, or how's that handled?
That depends on whether you can bundle libraries if you need to. I've done that with some Java stuff that I think to deploy on that, deploy some Java files. With Go, when you deploy Go, you actually are wrapping the entire thing into a binary. And Go's goal is to compile it into a binary. You just drop it where it needs to go. You can compile it to different platforms and drop it on. But with something like Rails or with Node.js or something like that, if you get Rails by default uses something called a gem file and a bundler that manages dependencies. When you deploy to Heroku with that, you're reading gem file and gem file locked and there is rough dependencies set in there. And it actually installs them just like it would if you were running install on a computer. It installs a fresh one every time.
Yeah, the only thing I have experience with is Python, so I was thinking, if you're developing local, you pip install something. How does that library get into
That's almost exactly the same. I never deployed Python to it, but Python is supported on it. And so, just about anything that we're using in this manager's time, it'll be out there.
Can you expose any port you want, or is it only 600 web ports?
No, you don't really get a lot of control over the ports. That's all kind of hidden behind the scenes where they're giving ports to the web portion of your application. You can have one web document per application, so if you get more than one separate web port on it. Actually, I could be mistaken on that. I haven't tried. But they assign a port, assign a deployment officer, rather than you don't actually know what the IP address of is of your various dynamics of what you're going to do in their route. And one of the things that building a Heroku like this kind of does for you is there's a process called 12 factor, and I haven't read about enough to explain it. Where I'd be comfortable explaining it. But it's basically boils down to the 12 things you need to do to be able to separate out your application and scale it better. So the idea is that your application is going to be structured so that if you were to say, I have this one web server, and now I need 50 web servers, everything is still runs smoothly. That means not saving anything to the individual server, but simply not saving on the central point that can always be accessed, like S3 or something else, or database that can always be accessed. Library dependencies, once it boots up, it doesn't have to do a full install. This is kind of what I've seen. It seems to be able to do one full run install and kind of copy it out across all the vendors. Having a container and users sort of dropping out of where it needs to run.
So do you ever use any sort of configuration management? Or is Heroku configuration management?
It pretty much takes care of it. There's not really, you don't have direct access to the server, so you don't really need to. Although, this does matter. 3 months ago, Heroku announced Docker support. And now, in addition to all the various build types that are out there, this is in beta right now. We're now reading the tool your Docker images do it well. And that pretty much unlocks everything.
They must have made your
Do what?
They must have made your
If they did, yeah. It makes you wonder sometimes. I kind of wonder why a company that likes me to write about Coach likes me to write about this various Heroku stuff a lot for whatever reason, and I just find it really odd that I wrote that article before. So it wasn't like an anti-Heroku thing or anything, it's just what Docker has done is basically they've open sourced what you need for the dynamic. And so they've enabled the market for a lot of those competitors to come in and provide service. And there are a lot of programs that are out there. You get, Docker, you have to. Amazon's got their own service now. ACC. Yeah, getting on, I think, OpenShift. I believe so, yeah. I remember hearing this one, but they're going to be popping up everywhere. There's really interesting company called Tutum, T-U-T-U-M, that has kind of built in their entire company around the Docker workflow, where in terms of managing through various Docker images, securing and private file storage, and then pulling out to just about any other cloud provider out there. And you've got built-in things for AWS or SoftLayer or DigitalOcean or even Microsoft Azure. And you can, and also got support for you hook it into your own other private cloud as well. And so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the space for a number of years. But I wrote a retraction article about Docker shortly after that because working with it locally in terms of just the sheer development experience, if you're not on a Linux machine, can become kind of a pain doing all that with memory that's constrained from the boot Docker. It can give you some issues. But most of the passengers happen to be about working on 260,000 on a review system. And I was doing it, that put you up against the bottleneck for you.
When you start the presentation, you like the microservices to service architectures. And I think maybe Greg Brennan makes a question. So, next. So, service-oriented architecture is one of the big value adds. Is you can extract the logic of how the services interacting out of the services themselves into middleware, and then really configure those business processes rapidly. That was really a big win for the enterprise. So, when you want to change
like a VPN system?
and you've got, is there any equivalent like that in microservices? Some kind of orchestration there?
Microservices is more than an idea. That kind of stuff is closer to popping around the REST.
Looks more
The
like
REST itself. There's various systems out there that people work on, like protocol buffers from Google. They're basically trying to kind of redefine the JSON interface and they're trying to pull a lot of the other things that as much as I hate the XML files, there are a lot of things around XML schemes specifically that we're really good at. And people are trying to build tools to kind of replicate that functionality because it's not the standard. It's sort of a cross between adding and a code. In terms of VPN systems that are out there, there's other companies that are trying to jump into that space. Amazon's actually one. They've got one more called SWF, Simple Workflow Services. And that it's not really built around services specifically. It's basically just built around breaking things down into pieces and letting them run over processing either one over the course of the week and manage different independent parts and having them tap in and just kind of waiting for instructions to come down from the kind of the system. But it doesn't depend on REST or Wizards or anything else. It actually was all housed inside Swift. All the outside services that are listening for instructions for it or feeding instructions to it are required to actually either open up a connection to listen and on-call, and they've got APIs to do that, or actually send the information in and over connected to it. For that, it's all about everybody connected to you and operator traffic. And it's a really cool. It's a really interesting system for the use case for it. But outside of the enterprise, I haven't seen a lot of people that's committed to using the VPN system. I'm actually more than a little bit of a I think they had quite a bit to short of architecture, just focusing on control design. But the microservices right now, it seems like there's more distributed. It'd be interesting to see if somebody else, maybe I think about
I assume that you're breaking, sorry, no question.
it. I agree.
I assume when you're breaking the monoliths into microservices, you're looking for world file contracts inside code, and you're breaking that boundary, translating that contract into some kind of REST API or way, and changing the interface from synchronous now to asynchronous. Are you finding that's causing lots of hard issues? Introducing asynchronous for production capabilities?
Not really. But a lot of times, it's a use case specific situation. I mean, it really totally depends what you're talking about. Most of the cases that I've seen, there are very few things that need to happen synchronously. Ruby and lots of other languages and kind of run back on what those used early on for a lot of asynchronous work as it is by this community run and happen in the background and report back later. Yeah, unless it's something that needs to be wrapped in a transaction, asynchronous is not usually a huge problem. It needs to be wrapped in a transaction. Odds are that stuff all we can all create a service. So either that or we can want another something to kind of try and distribute a transaction and verify that every single piece of it was not on the way. Like I said, the work was there. Because if you verify that everything completed, it will show you exactly where it died. But in my opinion, it's better than being more application specific, use case specific to anything else. That's actually something we can do is also very good at. It's very good at taking the existing code and breaking it out into something using remote procedure code. A lot of really interesting things to go versus just develop the problems.
One last question, I promise. Okay, so I've been reading about and learning and studying all these architectures and microservices, and all makes beautiful sense. But I don't understand what the use of good, solid middleware with appropriate key types for different types of use cases is supposed to rest in the canonical data format, which is far more solid and reliable than its target type. Why?
Some do. Some do. There's when I was actually at the Rails conference a few years ago, there was a guy who had an interface for back-end Rails applications that would transparently take their HTTP calls and let them listen on a queue or rather than queue, something like that. For anything that's coming in, it would come in and will translate it. That doesn't make any change to the application. You just load this library up and then all that stuff can be handled in that same way. And it made it a little bit easier to do it. It showed some serious benchmark improvements. But I think whenever I was in business, was one of the things that they showed us as far as technology shifts over time goes is a little steady line graph. And you can kind of use it with hard drives and SSDs where the minimum needed benefit justifies the work involved, the cost involved to make the switch. And right now, with the REST services that are out there, whether they're being handled synchronously or whether they're being handled back now via a lot of these applications are using REST and hub subsystems for red complex REST and other various hub subs and fast key value stores to handle a lot of the same thing. So basically, it's solving the same problem in different places. And so,
It just seems like we would have more real. It seems like we would flexible that logic.
it would. I mean, you're never restricted in that. I don't mean to limit my hardware. I said that.
I don't know, I understand. I'm not confusing the implementation of an architectural detail with the architect. Right. I was just curious about most people aren't using.
Well, yeah, I think REST. I'm still a little bit, shocked at how quickly REST came along. But the frameworks have really been a big piece of that because something like Rails, for example, if you implement controllers following the REST system, and then you can have multiple different views coming out of it, whether it's XML, whether it's JSON, whether it's HTML version. And so you kind of get that REST API without doing any extra work right there. And that makes it really easy to just say, okay, well, I'm just going to use this. And if something else is kind of following that REST structure, it's very easy to say, here's your data type, and I'm already know exactly how to interface with it. All I have to do is just put that into data type. It makes it really, really easy to have those things and stuff done. The queues are more of a histogram rather than anything like that. It tends to be more or less handle buffering things that come in too fast. And those kind of things are getting solved other ways with kind of the likes of on-call systems. On-call deployment is one of the biggest where you're sending a request and node and node is up as a lot. Goes up with time and just kind of shoot routine currency patterns. And it's so easy to just let something sit and hold a connection and finish doing whatever it's doing while everything else in the application is going on. And then finally, back to responding. I mean, I think most Microservices on likely hardware handle 5,000 connections just sitting there open at one time while still getting number of things in the background. It'll finish on connections. But it makes it easier to do that type of stuff without having to hold it. And then kind of the internet sector has a plugin for called HTTP push notification that will give you kind of long rolling for everything. It will hold the connection for you so you can, if you're doing PHP for example, PHP is terrible long. One of the worst languages you can possibly use for long haul. Because PHP is not built to. PHP is built to boot up, run, shut down. It's not built to boot up, sit there for a minute and a half with everything that just loaded and then shut down. Because every single time it comes in, it's going to load everything on the request. But if you do something like that, Nginx push one, Nginx will hold the request. You can kind of send something off to the background or touch a file on the server, something that's triggered for it to happen. And that request will finish. Nginx will hold it around the request with the response address, with the internal response address. And then another process can say, send this back to this address, send this back for you. And so you get that high level long functionality for anything, regardless of what time you're running on it, as long as the connection is people. But I guess it just kind of comes down to learning curve for most people. Learning curve and then learning curve. The reason we started using Redis for a lot of stuff, we use a database for background use. We don't really need a whole lot of write volume going into REST. They want to get REST really a solid tool for queues, and most people these days already have it in their infrastructure. It's such a fast and effective key value store to help you kind of manage things that you previously had to rely on to do an application. Anything else? I'll be happy to stand around for another 30 minutes until we leave.
Thank you very much.
Again, I'm really care about that.
That's all right, it's fun to watch Jay's cat legs.
So, let's see, anything we want to discuss? Anything else? I don't know if we have a topic for next month. Anyone would like to volunteer for a particular thing? I think we've got a long list of people that said that they've talked about certain things.
Actually, I have one quick request.
Yeah, you can talk about ghosts. Not necessarily next month.
Let me see what that. I wanted to tell y'all thank you for letting last year letting me advertise my Rails and Postgres course that I was teaching on the mailing list. And at the time, around the previous time, but I just wanted to thank y'all for letting me do that. I got to have 16 on my class, and it was really good. So you did get,
Great.
and please get some food too. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and whatever food's left, y'all take home with you, okay? Because we don't have all this fridge. I mean, Jonathan could maybe.
The trash cans will not hold all of that out there, please.
So Jonathan, I think you're the only one that works in this building, right?
So far as I know.
All this, so otherwise you have to eat them. So
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
be sure to take some home with you, okay?
You don't want to look like Jay's leg.
Well,
Or me.
Anything else? Am I having problems with their distribution?
None that I haven't caused myself.
What's that?
None that I haven't caused myself. I was trying to get rid of something, on Heroku, the 14.4, yeah, 14.4 version. And somehow I inadvertently uninstalled something that interrupts the boot process, but never makes it into the logs. So it's a little bit of a puzzle. But if I go in, I choose the resume, I mean not resume, but recovery, and it comes up to the screen, just hit resume, it's right up KD. So it's like I said, it's a bit of a puzzle. You have to reboot it and like all the logs. So that's been simpler.
Yeah.
I think what I may end up having to do is just simply pop the output. You know, it's just log your terminal, and just watch it.
Yeah, let's see if I'm ever trying to put it to a serial killer.
I was trying to take out the fantastic idiots that runs like half the time because I have to see the video. Or at least I think I can do it. I've got terabyte or some data from my own. I use files to use.
I had problems with Fedora 21, not update. It would say the update didn't work and all that. I fixed that. I put 22 on.
Yeah, I had problems jumping from 20 to 22. So I figured I shouldn't have done that. But
How did you do it? Have you ever tried that up? Does it work?
that's what I used. Yeah,
Did it work?
it did. But there were little niggly things here and there.
Yeah, they just got it working, so they're changing the way that everything runs now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got it where it works, now they're completely redoing it all. They're tossing out young.
I've been using Fedora 20 on upgrade 22, so.
The new one they're doing,
Which is really not that bad. I mean,
you're right.
once you start getting the feel for it, I mean,
Theoretically, it's
everybody's
fine.
young, but, you know.
But, yeah.
Yeah, but she typed it down and it says, you meant to type it. Continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that if it was going to be so easy, they probably would just call it young.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. It's why it's young too. Young live.
Since they changed the name, I expect something to break at some point.
Speaking of changing names, does everybody think about Google moving the alphabet?
What was that?
Google moving the alphabet.
I just read about that today. Was that announced yesterday?
Yeah.
Just after me, it's going to, basically what an alphabet's going to be is a parent company over all of Google. And they're going to break Google up into the independent, various different divisions that they actually have. So they're a little bit more accountable, I guess you could say, on using because I can call it, they have to do search.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And they've also got their own startup labs and so on. They've even got their fiber services, wireless services. Why have them all under one roof? It makes it more difficult to manage.
They'll have CEOs of each company will be operated separately.
And probably they'll sell off parts of it. Different parts make
Could be.
money.
Could be, but actually spent billions on stuff.
Yeah.
They've been buying a lot so over the last several years. So maybe.
Yeah. Well, buying and disassembling them, but the one thought was that they were doing that in order to put them back together, as the entity that they bought with, I guess, new management or whatever it is that they're planning on doing. Sergio or whatever, they're a little bit quiet.
We get a lot of free publicity, people speculating about what the letters do.
Which reminds me, some gentleman had the Twitter account, it just happened to be the name of their new domain, which is ABCXYZ. And again, another interesting side to that is Microsoft bought the domain ABCWTF.
Really?
Yes, and then this is ABC.WTF, the other one's ABC.XYZ. To represent alphabet, to represent the alphabet. So a little bit funny to get to work with.
I haven't heard of this.
It's actually already, article is here. Good stuff here. I had to catch it this, I think about 4:30 this afternoon, I was just sitting there going, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, I came across that when I was.
Then I heard it on PBS coming in, so. Or not, well, it's a show that goes between 6 and 7 on finances. Not exactly what the meeting that was called.
Marketplace?
With who?
Marketplace?
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, yeah, I do too, but that's hilarious.
Some more weird business news. There's actually talk of VMware buying out its parent company, EMC. Yeah.
Would be
So the subsidiary, VMware, would take over the parent company, EMC.
Except they're
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, the VMware is like 3/4 of EMC's revenue. I mean, it makes so much sense.
It does, because you look at hardware costs drop so much now, if you're in the hardware business,
Right.
your margins have just really dropped. Down to where it's barely able to make a living.
Plus, a lot of VMware's customers are not buying EMC. They're buying all these other new hot storage startups. And I think it's like 60 to 80% of all of the vendors that come to VMworld are storage vendors that are not EMC. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. Should be interesting.
I work with EMC products that aren't being, everybody works with VMware, everybody has.
Either that or you peripheral to somebody you know.
Yeah.
I only run a workstation myself. After doing that for 15 years now.
But I mean, you guys think that VMware really has that great a business model? I mean, if you look at like Zen or KVM, there's some open source free hypervisors out there that are pretty capable. I mean, maybe not as polished today, but
Right.
you know, give it a few years.
Well, just like in the open source community, how do you define free? Is it free as in speech or as in beer? I mean, it's free, but to an enterprise or a service provider, are they looking for free? You know?
Well, I don't think they are, but I think, but here's the thing. Anyone can support KVM. But there are companies like Red Hat, for example.
Sure.
Or, and anyone can get into that market and develop a track record. How much of a premium can you charge for a hypervisor going forward if anyone who can provide quality support can jump into that market?
Right.
But it sort of rises like one of the classes I had in college, it's like the innovation S-curve. You've got your early adopters and innovators, like people who run out with the latest iPhone, have it, and then people hear that and they'll go buy one before it actually hits the mass market and gains a lot of momentum. It's kind of the same thing as VMware had the lock initially, and then Microsoft came out and said, oh, we're going to make one too. And then, of course, open source started out, and now the field is expanding from just sort of one main company to 15 or 20. So it's becoming a commodity now rather than a
We had this conversation the other day about Windows. I mean, 15 years ago, the difference in usability between Windows and Linux. I mean, yeah, you can use it if you wanted to sit down and spend a couple of days compiling it from source, or and you wanted to spend an afternoon getting your mouse to work or whatever. But
or manually testing your monitors.
there was certain, it was worth a couple of $100 to pay Microsoft to get a Windows license, so you didn't have to do that for the average person.
Yeah.
Now, flash forward, 2015, and honestly, there are a lot of Linux distributions that are easier to install, easier to use than Windows. And then you can make them look more like traditional Windows than Windows does. what's the
That
value?
one is the Windows 8 style of Windows.
Well, I'm just saying, what's the value of Windows today? Why, I mean, people use it because they have applications that run on Windows, and that makes a lot of money for Microsoft, but is it going to in 5 or 10 years? And I think that's the same thing with VMware. I mean, yeah, it's a great product, it's very polished, but there are other people out there who have, or other groups out there that provide hypervisors, and if you were Red Hat, say, or SUSE, or another company that can provide support for that, I think you're going to eat their lunch. I mean, once people get over the mental block that, that it's not Microsoft, it's not VMware, there's stuff that is as good or better that we have for less money with the support.
And that's one of the areas where I'm interested to see what Docker does too, because with Docker, you get the ability to take a big server with no hypervisor at all and deploy tons of isolated things to it.
Well, yeah, I thought about that too. I mean, with Docker, how much hypervisor do you need?
One of their initial benchmarks was Docker versus a virtual machine running KVM, I think it was. And the application running on Docker was 2700.
Yeah. But then I think Intel's done a lot of work recently.
It's
They
27
times faster, so it's been a little bit back and forth. It's just optimization. You do the hypervisors in terms of bias and how much code you have to put. So I think there's some, between container and the virtualization, there's demarcation now, but that might work a little bit more in the future as the hypervisors become faster, the containers become more for the future.
And maybe I'm wrong about this, but isn't part of the appeal of Docker that all of that configuration can be basically deployed with the Docker container, and you don't have to sit there and install this, install that, configure this piece, configure that piece, and get it all working. You can, fire up the container and
That's a lot of the same field you have for Docker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically the same idea with VM.
That's part of it. But the other part is the containers and the machines. Because they're running on a kernel that's running for those, right? We've got a division in place. It's really a lot faster because of the virtualization layers.
That's the thing, because with Docker, it's not so much a matter of, it's more a matter of what's the appeal for a developer versus what's the appeal for a host.
Yeah.
So you got a company like Greenbelt, and they want to offer Docker hosting to people. Previously, you've got people needing to install a hypervisor and selling sections of VM of their machine, and it kind of limited them. Docker, you can deploy as many things as you want with the system based on how much stuff is actually, how many resources the things are actually using. They're all containerized, they're all isolated, and you can drop all that stuff on one thing without the expense of the hypervisor in the middle. So it lowers their cost, it lowers the prices of what they're able to sell by cutting out that middleman. So from a hosting perspective, when you see Google, Amazon, Microsoft all teaming up with Docker to kind of standardize the spec for how this needs to work, it's a lot of potential there to cut out of that. As soon as you get the ability to isolate resources per Docker container reliably, what need is it?
I think you probably need fewer VMs. And it becomes less of a critical thing. Like right now, like where I work, everything is built on VMs. There's like thousands and thousands of VMs running on these VMs. And they spend a lot of money on that. But if they could cut it down, or even where it wasn't that important, you've got the whole country running on a handful of servers.
That's like when I was in Western. You had two Java app servers. And the Java app server, there's a little more file, basically gave you the ability to containerize each job application was deployed on the server. So you could deploy 30, 40 things, load balance across 2 servers. Whereas, if you're running multiple different languages and things like that, you're looking at deploying 30, 40 PMs, and your resource requirement just to get the baseline operating system booting up goes up a lot. I mean, it's going to be it's probably going to be the most interesting thing to watch develop over the next few years, just in terms of how that's going to happen.
It makes me wonder whether or not spinning off VMware might not be a good idea for EMC on the other hand.
Well, that's the original article that was out there, that EMC was considering spinning off VMware, but then I saw an article talking about too, where VMware was thinking about buying out EMC.
It's sort of revenge for being bought out and never delivered the mission.
Yeah.
It may be a tit for tat.
Right.
More than, just an actual sensible, business.
Motion to adjourn? Have a great day. Thank y'all for coming, appreciate it. And feel free to stay, take food and talk, and I didn't mean to be rude, or anything, but it's like take some food.
I'm just wondering how
Thank you.